Account sharing in old school RuneScape is one of the mysterious interactions in this game. On one hand, it's kinda allowed. Essentially, you and your friend can together make an account and level it up without getting punished. Even one of the content creators on YouTube called Hanania nailed it. Made a series about an account where everyone can log in and drain it. As you would expect, it got banned, but not for account sharing. People are just racist. Jagex said it was a mistake and this is indeed allowed. The account is still going strong now, it got a fire cape, it almost has 2k totals and much more. Now the two parts where Jagex thinks it's not yummy to account share is when you either real world trade or complete the Inferno. That's it. Well, actually botting as well, but that's pretty much self-explanatory. And the last part is where our main protagonist comes into play today. Meet 1013. I'm just gonna call him Mr. Numbers from now on. You see, Mr. Numbers is a famous PKer in old school RuneScape, and he has a bit of a iffy in the jiffy in the past, if you know what I mean. You don't? Well, let me explain. Mr. Numbers is in a clan called Frontline, and well, to put it lightly, they have done some weird shit over the years. Here is a 30-second rundown. They threatened Jagex employee that he's gonna lose his job if he doesn't unban Mr. Numbers. They threaten other players with racism, with insults, DDoS those accounts and hack their accounts in a tournament Jagex made for PKers. It got to a point where Jagex had to start an investigation to ban every single player you see on this screen. They constantly scam players who want to join their clan. Don't put yourself through this trouble, you're gonna lose all your money. CampQ, a famous YouTuber, made a video about all the dodgy shit Frontline has done throughout the years, exposing their illegal methods, and it got copyright claimed by Frontline because they wanted the ad revenue CampQ made. It was a false takedown and it didn't latch on. This is just the crust of the cake on these matters. It goes so deep with death threats, doxing, cheating and so on. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if this video gets taken down as well. Jokes on them though, I can't make any money off YouTube. I'm just a loser who likes to make videos. By the way, please subscribe so I can start making money off you. Thank you. So now that you know who Frontline is, let's get back to Mr. Numbers and what this video is really about. Jagex fucking up. See, PKers these days like to use auto hotkeys and anti-drag movements in order to get faster switches from one combat style to another. This kind of automated PvP actions are a big no-no for Jagex, and it's actually pretty easy to detect them as well, since it's one of the oldest cheating systems in the game. Remember back in the day when you left your mouse on a high alchemy button, turned on your auto clicker and got banned. Those were the good old days. Now, a common thing for these PKers is to do so-called coasting, where they log into their friend's account under their own alias and either PK or stake there. This is the part where I said in the beginning how Jagex isn't against account sharing. This is perfectly fine, and this is where Jagex broke their own rules. So what happened was, one day Mr. Numbers goes to Twitter and says, my account has been banned for botting or macroing, or however you want to call it. Please make sure it's fine. And then Jagex was like, dude, we said macroing is a big no-no. The ban stays on. Good job, Jagex. Keeping on to your words. So a day passes and Mr. Numbers makes this tweet. Both of my accounts are now unbanned. Makes sense considering all I did was stake. That should be it, right? Well, it turns out this was just the beginning. You see, Mr. Numbers shared those accounts with his friends at Frontline, the clan they are all part of. The so-called friends then actually did use all of these advantageous scripts to macro and get faster switches in PvP. So technically the ban was correct and should be stayed. Also, this Mr. Numbers account used third-party client which had beneficial plugins to PKers that are not allowed in old school RuneScape. Jagex has made this very clear throughout the years. If your account is caught breaking the rules, it will be banned, no matter if it was your grandma, your dog, or your high school teacher playing on that account. Your account, your responsibility. And you can even read this exact rule Jagex themselves wrote. So how did Mr. Numbers get their accounts unbanned if this is still against the rules? How he got unbanned was talking through with JMods in a private discussions and trying to explain his situation, saying, yo, my account was unbanned fairly, please unban, and it worked. What is even crazier is how later on he said in Twitter how this isn't actually his account at all, he was just borrowing it from his clanmates, essentially admitting someone else broke the rules on their account, but I really want to still be able to share this account with me, so please unban. And Jagex totally fell for it. Reddit goes mental. Posts start to come up saying how can anyone respect this community if content creators get favoritism over normal players. My favorite post about this topic was a petition to make all Jagex employees run through Security of Stronghold to learn the rules to their own game. I would have paid to see that. Also make it so that if you answer the question wrong, you have to start from the beginning. Mess up question on floor 3? Well, back to floor 1 you go. How can a gaming company embarrass themselves this often? There is 0 days between the next fuck up. The worst thing about this fiasco is that Jagex unbanned someone that broke the rules. Meanwhile, other players are falsely banned and don't get a chance to request appeal for unbanning. Classic streamer favoritism. Absolutely no consistency in banning process. If any of us did this, we would have no chance at getting unbanned. And of course, if there is anything this community can do best, it's the memes. I genuinely think we have the best memes out there out of any video game, especially when drama is involved. I should uphold the game rules. Unless I'm a streamer, of course. Every account is responsible for the actions of their account, unless you have more than 5,000 followers on Twitch. And the funniest part about this whole entire story is that if Jagex customer support didn't rely on Twitter to handle bans, absolutely nobody would know this story exists. You could just solve these issues privately, but because if something goes wrong with your account, Twitter is literally the best place to get it solved. Not through client, not through RuneScape homepage, not through support links, just Twitter. So because their support system is so incompetent, this whole story was turned into a big fuck up on their part. So what now? Honestly, I don't even blame Mr. Numbers here. Short answer, he didn't really do anything wrong in this scenario. He wasn't the one botting, he wasn't the one breaking the rules. And you know, PKers do their thing. They sit at their corner of the map and we all know how they are at that corner, how they act and how they're never gonna change. So it's up to the company to keep this under control, that being Jagex in this case. The account is still active to this day. I'm not sure if maybe the name was just changed to another account or what is happening here, but I did notice it has over 3,400 King Black Dragon kills. Yeah, that's not sus at all. Jagex didn't follow the rules they demand old school RuneScape players to respect. And that was the day Jagex broke their own guidelines. Thank you for watching.